Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's June budget setup video. So this is going to be more of an in-depth budget video because I'm actually going to set up the brand new budget add-on that I just released in my shop last week. I figured I'd go through the whole setup because I know a lot of people are looking for some ideas on how to use the new budget add-on and some inspiration and everything. So I thought it would be helpful to kind of share that whole process. So this will for sure be a longer video, and I know for sure because I've actually filmed the whole video once already. If you're in the Facebook group, you know that somehow my footage I had filmed this weekend just disappeared, and it was over an hour's worth of footage. So I have a little bit of deja vu, but that's okay. We're gonna just sit down, get this done for you guys. I really wanted to have it up as soon as possible because again, I know a lot of you are looking for some ideas on how to set it up and all that fun stuff. So first of all, there's a couple different ways that you can store your budget in your Prosper You Planner Hub. So there's a couple options. You can put them in a notebook like I've done down here. I am not going to be doing that. I'm going to use the actual add-on itself. But what you could do, say you only purchase the inserts and things like that, you could just use the inserts in this notebook section. The add-on bundle itself comes with a hyperlinked PDF where you can house all of your inserts. That's what I'm going to use today. But if you don't need that hyperlinked PDF, if you don't want to put it behind a divider, you could also do what I did here and just kind of set up your notebooks and then use your inserts in your notebooks. So that's an option. You also can store in your monthly planner, your 1 month planner. You can store your inserts in these blank little sections. Here you see I've been, oh, that's a little sneak peek of tomorrow. But you can see I was kind of experimenting with putting inserts in here and everything. So that is an option. You can always label it here. You could use one of your monthly views for your budget there. You get 3 different monthly views with the 1 month planner. So that is also a really great choice to, you know, manage everything there if you want everything more in like one place in that way. So my best advice is to kind of sit back, don't feel rushed, don't feel pressured. Just kind of sit back and think of how you want things set up, and keep in mind this is digital planning. So when you set something up, just like I did, I had to remove everything I set up this weekend because I'm redoing it to show you guys the process. You can always move things around. You don't have to stick with a certain way of doing things for any period of time. Like, you can change your mind. It's completely fine. So there's no pressure, no stress. Try different ways of doing it. If you try out the notebook section in the hub and you realize, oh, you know what, I kind of want to try putting it in my 1 month planner, you can totally do that. Or if you want to do the whole add-on and do that behind a divider just to kind of have that whole area as a separate entity within your hub, you can do it that way too. So it's totally up to you the way you want to set it up. If I were to set it up in the 1 month planner, I would honestly probably add the pages to my outline, which you can do in Goodnotes by tapping on these 4 little squares here and going to outlines, and you can add pages to your outline. So you could do like June budget, July budget, August budget, and then that way you can get to certain places really quickly while you're on any page. And in fact, I'm actually going to add to my outline my budget add-on so that if I'm on a certain page, I can just pop open my outline and go over there versus, you know, having to swipe back over to the divider and then go back into the hub that way. Swiping over, tapping to get into the divider, that only takes a couple seconds, but if you can shave off a half a second somewhere, then, you know, who doesn't need more time in their day, even if it's a half a second, you know? So anyways, those are your options. You can put the budget stuff in your 1 month planner in the notebook section of the hub, or in the actual add-on itself. And today I'm going to show you the add-on itself. I think I did see one person put their budget in their 1 month planner, so in the group. So if you're not part of our Facebook group yet, I definitely recommend joining us there. If you don't have Facebook, maybe consider creating just a profile that you can set it up in Facebook to where you can create a profile where no one can find you. You don't have to follow anyone or anything like that. But there's a lot that happens in that Facebook group, and if I can find a platform to use where I can do a similar thing to the Facebook group as far as like hosting, you know, just everyone there, and everyone posts and asks questions, and I post polls and things like that, I would totally do that, because I completely understand not everyone uses Facebook. But maybe consider creating like a kind of incognito profile. That's actually how my Facebook is set up. I do not follow anyone on Facebook. I do not have anyone follow me. I made myself pretty much impossible to find on Facebook because I personally don't like to spend my time on Facebook. It's just not good for me. So that's how I have it set up. I literally just have my profile so that I can be in certain groups for, you know, support, and then obviously to host the Planning to Prosper group as well. So that's the way I use it. But anyways, we have a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start out by going to my main Planner Hub page here, and I'm going to set this up a little bit nicer. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have not taken time to set this up the way I really want to. I'm really using 2022 as my year to just think about how I want things set up and to try different things, and not all of the add-ons and inserts are available yet, and so I'm kind of spending time just thinking through things more versus actually setting things up. So I get the question quite often, you know, can you show us your completed hub setup? And I would if I had it done, but I'm totally being honest with you guys and transparent. I don't have it done. I haven't set up my hub the way I want. I am going to host a little live stream later in the year to set up my 2023 hub, and I thought it would be fun to do that live with you guys so we can kind of powwow and set ours up together. But this is not pretty. This is not the exact way I want things set up, so I figured I would just mention that real quick. But I have, I believe actually divider 2 is now empty, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna put my budget behind divider 2. So actually I'm gonna just rename this real quick. And you know what? Hang on, I got a better idea. So I think what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna pull up off to the side my files, and there's another sneak peek. My goodness, okay. Let's see, so I'm gonna go to my desktop, and then I'm going to go to my light mode budget add-on, and I've got these divider labels here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of a white space, click copy, and I'm just going to paste over that section label. And one option you have too is to put a cover here. I sell tons of planner covers in both portrait mode and landscape mode. So you could put a cover here and it's got a little space for a label. But I think I'm just gonna keep it very basic, and I am going to, I think I'm gonna use this one. Or do I want to use that one? I think I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna hold this down, drag it over, and now it's in there. This is split screening, by the way, with the Files app. That's the way that I pull in a lot of the widgets and things like that. And let me put myself on Do Not Disturb real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one here and just put Budget Planner on there. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to close this real quick, and I'm gonna hit this plus button up here and click import, and then I'm going to go to my light mode budget add-on, go to the actual add-ons themselves. I am going to do landscape, and then I am going to put this in list so I can see the name a little bit better. I want to do, I think I'm gonna actually do a Monday start calendar for my budget add-on. So I'm gonna do the January to December, which is this one here, I believe. yeah, January to December. So now my budget add-on is behind that divider. And the way that all of the add-ons work in my shop is when you tap on this little back button, it's going to take you to the first page of the add-on, and then you just swipe over and you're back in your hub super quick and easy. So I could be on a random page over here, I tap this back button, takes me back to that first page, and I swipe over. And I did that intentionally just to make it super quick and easy to get back to your hub and everything, because you're, you know, importing a PDF into a PDF, and the links aren't going to sync as far as, you know, like when I tap on February here, it's not gonna go to my February divider in my hub, it's going to go to the February calendar in the add-on. So that's why that back button is here. Okay, so now I've got my hub in there. I think real quick, I'm going to go back to my home page, and I am going to remove this here, and then I'm gonna pull my files right back up, and I'm gonna use one of the labels to label that. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the cursive. I'm just gonna put budget planner there, and that makes it super quick and easy. And now I'm gonna go back to the budget planner. Okay, that then brings us to the budget inserts. So I am using light mode, so I'm gonna unzip that, and I've got my notes over here, and I'm gonna set up my neutral light mode inserts as the annual view, and then I'm gonna actually use decorative inserts for my month and everything. So I've taken notes and all that good stuff. So that is all good to go. Now the light mode inserts come in both landscape and portrait. I am going to use landscape, although you could use portrait if you wanted to, because you could just, for example, let me go to a blank page, you could pull in one of the inserts over here and then just put it off to the side. So I've got my Invisalign in, and I feel like I get so tongue-tied so easily with them in, but yeah, you could put these over here, and then you could have some spot or some space for like notes and things like that, or you could put 2 portrait inserts on one page if you wanted to do it that way. Definitely an option, but it comes with landscape specific inserts for landscape mode if you want to use those as well. So let me go ahead and label, and I think I'm gonna actually open up my sticker book first. We're gonna close this real quick. I am going to open up my sticker book and do a little split screen, because in my sticker book I have down here little labels that I can use. So I'm gonna go to the label section, and I'm going to label my index right here. So I am going to first do the annual financial goals. So I'm gonna put that there, and you can kind of resize it however you would like. I might try to stick those like mainly in the middle there. So you can make them as big, as small as you want. You could also, if you don't like the text that's in the labels, you could also always add your own text if you wanted to, or handwrite it. There's a lot of options there. So annual goals, and then I'm gonna do annual sinking funds. And that looks pretty good to me. And then I think I'm now changing. So this is one benefit of refilming this, is I'm kind of changing things up a little bit, because I thought through things a little bit more when I was setting it up the first time. So I'm making some changes. So works out for the best. I think I'm gonna do my annual business tracker over here as well. Make that a little bit bigger. Then we're gonna do car maintenance, or do I want to do, yeah, I'll do car maintenance next. So here's my car maintenance log. Drag and drop that over. If you don't have Goodnotes, these do come as individual PNG images as well, just so you know. And everything is labeled, so it's easy to find in the little folders. And then we're gonna do house maintenance log as well. And I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger, that a little bit bigger. There we go. Then we'll do medical. And the medical I'm gonna set up a certain way. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna set that up here in just a moment. because I'm going to use one insert for each member of our family. And then I'm going to do the savings tracker. Looks good. And then I'm also going to track subscriptions. And I believe that's all I'm gonna do in the annual section for now. I might add more later, but I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. So now that I've got my labels in, I can pull up my inserts and start putting those in. And I might be a little bit more nitpicky about that off camera. So I'm gonna close my sticker book, and then I'm gonna pull up my files off to the side and split screen. I'm going to go to landscape mode, and we're gonna start putting our inserts in. So the first one is going to be annual goal setting and review. So I'm going to find my annual goal setting and review insert, drag and drop that over. And then I am going to size this as large as I would like it to be. And that looks pretty good to me. I might move that over just a smidgen. Okay. That looks good. So I've got my annual financial goals and review right there. And up here you can get to other sections of the year little section, the annual section of the budget add-on. So when I go to page 2, it's gonna take me to page 2. Oh, and you can put up here too, you can do 2022, which I think I'm gonna use American typewriter, and we'll do 2022. Oops, 2022, and I'm gonna resize that and make that a little larger. There we go. And I can just copy that page to page. So next will be annual sinking funds. So I'm gonna go to page 2, and we'll do the annual sinking funds. So I drag and drop that over. You can see once you have a plan in place, actually setting everything up is not gonna take very much time at all. So that is helpful. So there's the annual sinking funds. Now I'm not gonna be filling in all of these sheets on camera because that would be a forever long video, but I'm just gonna share kind of where I'm putting things, and then I will share our June budget and all that kind of stuff here in just a moment. So annual sinking funds. And then we're going to do the annual business tracker. And I really love this page because it will show an overview of my total like profit and total to taxes and expenses and all that kind of stuff for my business, which is really helpful for my accountant. So I'm going to just kind of put that there. That works. Annual business tracker. If I go back to this little calendar icon, it's going to take me back to this annual finances. These gray squares are here for widgets, which I might go ahead and set up actually with you guys. I didn't do that in the first time, so I might do that this time. So car maintenance log is next. So car maintenance. And that looks good to me. Car maintenance, and then house maintenance will be after that. When you're a homeowner, you know tracking these things I feel like is so important, and I'm not very good at it, so I'm hoping having it all set up here will make it, you know, easier for me to remember to do. Then the medical expense tracker. So the way I'm gonna set this up is I am going to duplicate the page 4 times. We have 4 members of our family. Well, we have 6 technically if you count the puppies, but on our health insurance plan, there's 4 of us. So medical expense tracker, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go to my thumbnails. It's got this page highlighted. So I'm just gonna hit duplicate, and then I'll hit duplicate, and then duplicate, and that will put 4 different sheets. So when I go to the medical expense tracker section, it'll pull this up, and then all I'll need to do is kind of flip through those pages to see everybody. So, so this one's going to be for Andrew. So I can just write in Andrew, and again, I might go off camera and go through and like set this up a little bit nicer and put in all the information. but I just thought I'd kind of share. This way you don't have to use, you know, one whole section. You can always duplicate pages. So, Maddie and Julia. So again, that way when I go to my annual section and I go to medical expense tracker, I can just scroll through and see everyone's medical expenses. And then also when I go to the 7 section, which we're gonna do a savings tracker, it's gonna take me to page 7 still. So I don't lose a whole section of the annual index and all of that kind of stuff. So you could always do, like you can house like car and house maintenance and all that under one thing if you wanted to, or all of your savings trackers under, you know, one main umbrella category, and then you just kind of flip through the pages. So that's what I would do, just to give yourself a little bit more space. Okay, so savings tracker, I am going to do this little jar one, and this is going to be for our emergency fund because we're trying to really work on beefing it up. We actually want to put like a year's worth of expenses in our emergency fund, so it's going to take us a while to build that up to where we want it to be, but I think that's really important to do, so that's something that we're working on. I'm also going to duplicate this page again because we are going to also save up for a new car, so that's something I want to track as well. And I really love this savings tracker because you can kind of mark, you know, your deposits and withdrawals. And then you can also fill in this little jar over here. You can put your saving for your emergency fund and your goal right there. So for example, for our emergency fund, okay, so I'm gonna put emergency fund up here. And then our goal is actually $60,000. So we kind of rounded up a bit. And then for 10% of that, so let's see. So 10% of 60,000. Okay, so $6,000 is 10%. So for every $6,000, we would color in a little spot. So this would be 12,000. This is just really fun because then you can take your highlighter, and once you reach, like, we've got 12,000 in there, you can kind of color it in. Once you reach, like, you can change colors and be like, oh, now we're up to 30, and color in there, and you can kind of keep track of that over time and everything. So that's what I'm going to do on this page, which I think will be really fun. And for our car, I think we are going to try to save $45,000. So I'm going to put car and $45,000. We want to pay cash for our next vehicle. So I believe that'll be $4,500, but again, I am going to double check my math because, you know, so yeah, for every $4,500, we would color it in. So we'll do 4,500, and then I won't go through and fill those all in again, but you guys kind of get the idea of how that works. And then, you know, if there's ever a time where we have to take money out for some reason, example, we've had a lot of huge medical bills lately. I know our car maintenance sinking fund, we actually took a big chunk out of that and put it towards medical because we're trying to pay cash for all these medical expenses. So if there's ever a time where we're like, you know what, we need to dip into that fund because we have to pay for this or whatever it may be, we try to avoid those situations, but they do pop up, you know? So I would rather, you know, take the cash from somewhere, pay cash, be done with it. I do not like owing money at all. So that is what it is. But that's kind of how those savings trackers will work, and that will be just really fun to kind of keep track of all of that there. And then the last one we're gonna do is subscriptions. This is something I've really needed to set up for a long time because I'm telling you, we have all these random subscriptions and I just kind of forget about them. So this will be really helpful to kind of keep track of, you know, what we're subscribed to, because I know, like, I signed up for Fitbod and we're signed up for Headspace, and we have an Amazon Prime membership and just different things like that. So it's helpful to kind of write that down, what the due date is, and if it's annual, if it's monthly, and if it auto renews or not. So I'll fill that in off camera, but that takes care of all of the pages for the annual trackers that I want to use, and no pressure to fill out all the spaces. I still have 2 open spaces available, which honestly is really nice because if I need to use that for notes or I decide to add something else, I can, but there's no pressure. You get a lot of space in this add-on. This is the hyperlinked PDF that I mentioned before, and you get a lot of room in here. You get the monthly, you know, pages and the weekly pages and annual. So you've got a ton of space to house inserts and decide where you want to put things and all of that. So I'm just going to go through and put 2022 on all the pages and get all of that kind of set up and good to go. Savings trackers. Do this one here. And this one. And you could always, you know, use like a one of the notebook sections for your annual financial trackers, and then put just your monthly ones in the 1-month planner if you wanted to do that too. So that's an option. Just use one of the notebook sections in the hub for your annual trackers and then track things in your 1-month planner. So many different options I know for this, which is nice, and I think it just takes some experimenting to figure out, you know, what works best for you. So, but give yourself, don't be so hard on yourself, give yourself that leeway to, you know, change your mind and, you know, try new things and all of that, and just find what works best for you. And finding what works best for you isn't creating the best plan ever. It's really just executing it and then fine-tuning it from there. So that's that. And that takes care of all the annual stuff. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to June, and we're gonna set up my June budget. And then, oh, I mentioned too that I wanted to set that up. And let me see real quick if I even have, I don't think I have the, oh yeah, I do have the year at a glance mini months. Okay, perfect. So I am going to do Monday start because my thing here is Monday start. And I'm just gonna go through and put in the calendars. And my whole thinking on this was that I wanted to be able to mark like paydays, or if there's like a big, you know, bill that's due. Like for example, our car insurance is due annually in October. So I feel like it's nice to be able to mark that so I don't forget. And when we're putting together our October budget, we will be good to go. You can mark big events if they're, for example, is like a wedding that you're going to, and you know you're gonna have to, you know, purchase a gift and things like that. So, but these are super easy just to kind of pull over and set up real quick. And I did this intentionally with the mini months so that you could reuse this add-on over and over again. You don't have to purchase a new one. That does mean it's undated, but dating it really does not take much time at all. And in fact, I will show you guys a little trick. If you're using the same orientation for both your 1-month planner and your add-on, then it gets really quick. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I will show you guys that here in just a moment, but we're gonna get this set up real quick first. So there's November. And lastly, there is December. And in the widgets that you get access to when you purchase the Prosper You add-on section, the add-ons, oh my gosh. When you purchase the planner add-ons, the 1-month planners, the hub, you get access to the Prosper You planner library. And in there, I have a key that I've put, and actually I don't think I have that in here, because this is the one that I previously put, but there is a key in there where you can kind of color code. It comes in both vertical and horizontal, and so if you wanted to, you could use that little key and put that here, or you can just kind of put like dots here. For example, if you want to color code something as pink, you could just put a little dot of the highlighter, and then right next to it, maybe pink equals paydays, or something like that. So that's why this little note section is here, is mainly for, you know, housing a key, but then also you could use it just for regular notes too. So that is all set to go. And you know what, I am going to, I don't remember, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna put 2022 up here too. So yeah, we are all set to go for the annual pages. Next, I am going to go ahead and open up my Kit 31 inserts, because that is what I want to use for my monthly view. And I am going to close that real quick. I just opened it so it would open up right to that. And I'm going to go to my sticker book, which was right over here. There we go. And I'm going to open that in a new window. And then I'm going to hop on over to June, because what you can do, once you have one set up, I can take my lasso, make sure images is on, and I'm gonna lasso all of this. I don't need all of it, obviously, but I'm just gonna lasso all of it, and then I'll delete certain things. So I'm just gonna hit copy. So it's gonna copy that, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back to divider 2, go over here, go to June, and then we are going to paste that page. And then I'm gonna have to make some little adjustments, but it'll be nice because the date dots will be sized for me and all that kind of stuff. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through, just delete things I don't want for now. And you can take your lasso as well and kind of just lasso all of that, hit delete, delete. Anything I don't need, I am just going to delete, and then I've got the date dots there for me, so that makes that nice and easy. And we'll delete this as well. And then I'm going to just change this, make it a little smaller, and put it off to the left there. But now you can see I've got my washi up there and everything. And then for the date dots, the first day of June is a Wednesday. So I'm just going to take the first, put it over here, take the second. They're all pulled in for me. They're all the same size because I already sized them all earlier. And that way I don't have to go through that whole like process again. It just kind of saves you a little step. So, and then I'm gonna do the 6th. The budget sticker book also does come with date dots if you want to use them, but then all of my kits also come with date dots that match the color scheme, and I really like that. So I'm just kind of placing these where they need to go for now, and then I'm going to fine tune them here in just a moment. But I'm just gonna kind of put them where I want them to go. And I'll go ahead and speed through the rest of this so you guys don't have to sit through this. So I have all my date dots put together. I have this whole row down here, so what I might actually do is cover that with some washi. So I will open up Kit 31 here in just a moment. But before I do that, I am going to go ahead and put in my sections. So let's see here. I think, okay, so for my first section, I'm gonna do my monthly goal setting. And there's a lot of different options for this as well. As far as like, there's weekly check-in pages that have little spots where you can kind of review and set weeks on like a weekly basis, or set goals on a weekly basis. And then I'm going to use the basic budget. So I'm actually going to do monthly budget down here because we do budget on a monthly basis, but you can also use the basic budget plan or any of the categorized budget plans as your paycheck budget, your bi-weekly budget, your weekly budget, whatever you want to do, but we do budget on a monthly basis. I'm just going to make that a tiny bit smaller. And then we're going to do sinking funds next. So I'm going to do sinking funds. I'm a little bit tired today. I've been working a lot of hours. I've been putting in a lot of hours just trying to kind of get as much done as I can before I have surgery this Wednesday. So, and then I'm gonna do my business budget in here as well. Business budget. I'm gonna put that under section 4, and then we'll just make this a little bit larger. And then I'm not gonna use any of the other sections. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna take a screenshot of a little white space there, and then I'm gonna copy and paste. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover all this up and maybe put like a key there or some decoration or something like that. So again, there's zero pressure in setting these up, like every single section up, if that makes sense. So, so yeah. Super easy to cover that up. It's like they never even existed. And I can put like some clip art over there, or like I said, I'm probably gonna do the key. And I think what I'm gonna do real quick while I'm at it is I am going to go to my Dropbox on my phone and go to the library. Or you know what, I can do it right here. I don't know what I'm thinking. I can access the library just by tapping this little button. So I'm gonna tap that. And then I'm gonna go to widgets, and I'm going to go to light mode. And then I want to download these because this is the little zip file that my key is in. And then I'm going to, because I'm gonna use the expense tracking stickers. So I'm gonna I'm gonna close my sticker book again, and I'm gonna pull up my files over here and go here, go to added there, go to that, and then I'm gonna put a key over here. So I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna actually use this key right here. And just put that right there. I might even put it like closer to the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down there. And then we'll get to the expense tracking stickers and stuff like that in a minute, but I am going to go first to my Kit 31 inserts in landscape mode. And then we will go ahead and set up our pages. So this first one is going to be the monthly. So I'm gonna do my monthly goal setting and review, and this is the decorative inserts option. They work on both light mode and dark mode. You can kind of stretch them a little bit if you want to fill up the page a little bit more. I absolutely love this kit, so that's why I decided to go with it for this. But I will be creating decorative inserts for all of the kits. I'm gonna backtrack to kit 25. So I'm gonna get 25 through 28 done sometime after surgery. 29 through 32, kits 29 through 32 are currently available in my shop. And then all of the August, you know, decorative inserts will be up tomorrow. So you guys will see those tomorrow. So the monthly financial goals and review is gonna go there. And then I'm gonna do the basic budget plan right after that. I just love this one because it's so simple, and I like that a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, kind of stretch it out a little bit, and that's good to go there. I think I'm gonna actually do that to this one too. Just kind of cover up as much of the page as I can, because why not? Okay, so there's that one. And then I'm gonna do my sinking funds. So for sinking funds, I'm going to use the tall envelopes, and we have 21 sinking funds currently, so I'm gonna do two, oops, spending tracker. I'm gonna do 2 of the 8 categories. So there's the 8 categories, and then what I can do is I can just duplicate this page again. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my thumbnails, and we're going to duplicate, and then I'm actually gonna duplicate it again, but on this third one, I only need 5 of the envelopes. So we're gonna do 5 of the tall envelopes. That's the spending tracker. Oh, here we go. 5 categories. And then kind of do that. And now that is good to go. So again, I can kind of go through when I'm on this June page. I can hit sinking funds, and then I can just scroll through my sinking funds that way. And then in section 4, I'm gonna put my business budget. So business budget right here. And I'm just going to make that as large as I can as well. I'm gonna stretch it over. And that looks good. So all of my inserts are officially in, so that is all good to go. And then I'm also in my weekly pages, I'm gonna put my cash envelope. So actually I needed to keep the files open, but that's okay. Super easy to pull it right back up, put it where I want it to be. And I decided, I kind of went back and forth on how I wanted to track transactions, because there's a couple options. There's spending trackers with weekly check-ins. You could do just basic cash envelopes and then do expense tracking stickers. You can do the tall envelopes I have for the sinking funds. You can do that as your spending tracker, which is really helpful. But I think what I landed on is I kind of want to go back to expense tracking stickers. I just find it to be really fun to see the month in total and notice like any trends or patterns, just being able to see that whole monthly view at a glance. So, and I'm not gonna really put bills, I decided, in my monthly view, because I can just track my bills in my basic, you know, budget plan and everything, because there's a little spot where you can check it off as it's paid, you can put the due date, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna track expenses and paydays in the monthly view. So I am going to use cash envelopes, and we need a cash envelope for grocery, gas, household, eating out, and unbudgeted. So I'm gonna use the page that has 5 cash envelopes, pull that over, and then this gets really easy because I only have to size it once, and then I can just copy and paste, which is exactly what I am going to do. And I think I'm gonna kind of tuck that a little further up there, and then we'll do copy. So I need, let's see, I think I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna do 5 of the weeks. Use my lasso and kind of line that up where I want it. And then go over here and paste. Put that in. And go week 4. You guys will get to see all of this in action in my weekly check-in videos too, so that'll be fun. I'm excited to track expenses a little bit more differently, and I love, like, we don't use cash, but this gives you that whole cash envelope experience without having the cash. So I feel like that's a really fun way to do it. Okay, so we've got all the cash envelope pages in and everything. So that is all good to go. All of my pages are all set up. So I can go to week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can kind of mark down, you know, during each weekly check-in, like where we're at, what we have as our ending balance, all that kind of stuff. And then going to section 1, I have my monthly financial goals and review. This will be a really good way to sit down with Andrew and come up with a game plan for the month and everything. Then we have our basic budget plan. We have our sinking funds right there. And then our business budget is on page 4. And yeah, so now I can just kind of go through and I can set up my key and all of that. Now the budget sticker book is set up, and let me go and open it again real quick. The budget sticker book is set up to where there's so many color options that you can find a color that will kind of match the overall color scheme of your pages here. So for example, I feel like this kind of turquoisey, dark turquoisey green color is perfect. So I'm gonna copy and paste that over here. And what I actually like to do is I like to size the expense tracking stickers to the box first and then put it in my key, because that way I can just kind of copy and paste. I'm gonna put that there. So we'll do that one, and then that is going to be, actually I don't know if I want that to be grocery or a different one, so I'm gonna pop that a little further down here. And then another color I can use, just kind of taking a look at the washi, is I can do, maybe do like this gold color. I feel like would be really pretty. Just pulling in more of that kind of goldish yellow sort of color. So I'm gonna just kind of plop that over here for now. And you can also just do basic colors if you want to. This one I think is perfect. So I'm gonna throw that over here. And then I could do maybe like a lighter green, or even like a, let's see, maybe I'll actually do that, do like a darker yellow. Do I want darker or lighter? So you can kind of pick and choose a little bit more what you want to do. So I'm gonna use this one down here. I'm gonna go with that darker gold kind of color. And then for unbudgeted, I think I'm gonna do this like really dark, maybe I'll do this really dark green, or no, I kind of want to pull in another maybe pinkish color. So maybe I'll do this one, maybe. Maybe not. Should I just do like a bold red? I'm kind of wanting to do, maybe I'll do like more of this like green. Okay, so this is where, those are the colors we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a green. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm gonna make, and go ahead and pull these kind of down a little bit, and then we'll just resize. Do I want to go with that green or a different green? Kind of like that a little bit more. Yeah, we're gonna do that one. Okay, so delete. All right, so I've got all my colors selected, and I'm going to, again, just kind of zoom in here and size these how I want them to be. And then that way I can just kind of copy and paste as I need them, and they'll already be sized for me. So I'm gonna just pull this over here, and to get it to where, because if you copy and paste when it's on this key, it's gonna pick up the key too, like, because the key is an image. So what I always do is I tap on the photo tool, tap on it, drag it over, and then copy, and then I'll hit the undo button, and that'll just pull it right back over where I had it before. So that's kind of how I do it personally. And then I'm gonna do this gold color, and we will resize. So I like the 70 colors because it gives you more control, I think, over the colors that you're using and everything. So we're gonna do that. Oops. And I'm going to, whenever you're working with an image on top of an image, you want to have the photo tool kind of ready to go. Okay, and then we'll bring this one over, resize it real quick. bring that one over and resize this one. And then bring that one over. Okay, and then I'm gonna label these. And like I said, you could also just do, you know, very normal colors that you just pull. Like the colors don't have to match the month. I'm just kind of doing it for fun, but you don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. So grocery, household, gasoline. We'll do eating out in this blue color. And then we'll do unbudgeted in this lighter green color. I think that'll work out pretty well. And then I'm just gonna cover up, I think I'm actually just gonna cover up that bottom one with some washi. So now that I've got that all figured out, I'm gonna put paydays in real quick too. And then we will start filling things in. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be like the longest video ever, so please bear with me. So for paydays, I think I want to do that kind of coral color. So I'm gonna go ahead and lasso that and pull that over. And my paydays are on Tuesdays. So I like to mark this just to kind of know how many paydays. There's either 5 or 4 paydays in a month, depending on the month and how many Tuesdays there are. So I just kind of like to mark that because it gives me a better idea of what I'm gonna be looking at income-wise for the month and stuff. So I'm just gonna put my paydays in real quick. And that will be all good to go. All right. So paydays are in. And now I'm gonna pull up kit 31 and we'll do some decorating and stuff, and then we'll start putting the budget together. So I'm gonna go to kit 31 right here. And I'm gonna put this in split screen mode. I'm really excited for the sticker. Whoops, I did not mean to close it. I'm really excited for the sticker book revamps. I think that's gonna be, or like the sticker kit revamps, because I'm gonna put them in that sticker book format, and I think that's gonna be really, really fun to do. Okay, so I think down here, I'm gonna just put a little piece of washi to cover up that green, that little gray box. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of washi in there. Could also do some clip art or something, but I don't need all 6 spaces, so I'm just gonna do that. And actually, you know what I could do is I could use a thicker piece and then kind of make it look like it's taped on here. So I want it to be the same size. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that, and then we'll put that back over here. And I'm gonna paste this up here and kind of make it look like it's taped on there. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab some decoration. And I think I'm gonna do this summer vibes over here. Kind of decorate with that. And then I kind of want to put like a big piece of washi on the bottom and block off that little spot there. And I think for that, I'm going to use this thin washi, and we will kind of size that where we want it. Now, do I like that or do I not like that? I don't know if I want a pattern down there. I think maybe I'll just do like a solid color. I think I'm just gonna do a solid color because I feel like when there's too much pattern on there, it looks too busy. So I'm just gonna take one of these solid color blocks, and I will just cover this up with one of the solid color blocks. And I could always, like, you know, layer some clip art on there if I want. But I think that'll be good. Okay, and actually I kind of wish I had put, okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and we're gonna cut it all. Oops, except it's gonna pull up, that's okay. that's okay, because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move this over here. It's me thinking out loud, bear with me. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to pull this all the way over here, because I kind of want it to go behind that key. And then we're going to paste, and I am going to put that where I want it to be, and then I'm going to tap on this white space down here, and we're just going to make that smaller. And then I'm going to duplicate that so it's Goodnotes works in layers, so whatever you want to be on top is the last thing you want to put down. So I'm gonna put that there, and I think I like that. I might move this up a little bit. Now, you do not have to spend as much time as I'm spending on this if you don't want to, but I'm enjoying myself, so that's kind of why I'm doing all of this, because I find it to be honestly kind of therapeutic. But if you wanted something super quick and easy, you could always just use like standard colors. You could not do any decoration. You could just use like the, you could just use the, oh, what happened here? Oh, it like, okay, I'm gonna fix that, but you could always use the like neutral budget inserts that comes with the add-on. So you definitely have options to make it as simple or as decorative as you want it to be. Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching this process. I know it's kind of a long one, but I think it's fun. So hopefully you guys are having fun too. And I'm gonna pull that up just a little bit more there. Okay. So I'm loving that. So I've got my little key there, and then I've got the solid color down there, and I might do some decoration. Now that like the decorating and the setup and all of that is done, okay, so if you're still with me, you guys are awesome. But now that that is done, let's set up the actual budget. I know this has been kind of a process, but I think it's really fun to kind of take your time setting it up and get creative and everything. It makes budgeting more fun, in my opinion. So good to go there. Next, we are going to go ahead and pop in here and go to, I'm gonna do this with Andrew, so I'm not gonna set all of this up on camera, like the monthly financial goals and review and stuff like that. I think it's important that Andrew and I sit down and get that done together, but we're gonna fill in our budget plan together. So for the budget plan, our income sources are our May income for planning to prosper. So I take all of the current month's income and I use that to pay the next month's bills. So that's how that works. By the end of May, I'll know exactly what I've made on Etsy, minus business expenses, minus taxes. And that becomes our take-home pay, and that is considered our June income. So hopefully that makes sense. And then miscellaneous. I do not share our income just because it's something that Andrew and I are not comfortable doing, but those are our sources of income. And then we're gonna get into our bills. So I've got my little rough draft over here. So for bills, and sorry I'm writing on such a diagonal, I don't know how to do it any other way. So we have our mortgage. And for our mortgage, that is $1,571.78. And you can see here there's a spot to write in your due date. You can put a little check mark when it's paid and all that fun stuff too. So I feel like that is super helpful. And then we have our HOA, and that is $111.95. Then we have Southwest Gas, which is what we use to heat our home and also for our gas stove, and we're budgeting $50 for that. Then we have water and trash. And we're budgeting $100 for water and trash. Then there is APS, that is our electric company. And I put that bill due on the 5th of the month. Some of these due dates are kind of variable, but that's just sort of when I put down that it typically comes out. For example, water and trash, I feel like that due date always varies. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm writing on camera. I feel like my pen is not thick enough or something. In fact, I'm gonna go through and rewrite this real quick, but I'm gonna do that off camera real quick for you guys. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better. It's a little bit more bold, but for APS, we're budgeting $300. And then on the 15th of the month, we have State Farm, which is Andrew's life insurance. And that is $38.70. On the 20th, we have my ortho payment for my Invisalign, and that is $240. On the 20th of the month, we have CenturyLink, which is our internet provider, and that is $65. On the 20th, Massage Envy comes out, which I think we might be canceling at some point, but we'll see. You always want to have images checked off, by the way, when you're using your lasso on top of an insert. That way it doesn't pick the insert up. But Massage Envy is $65. That's how I'm able to move my handwriting around when I'm working on the insert. On the 22nd, our gym membership comes out. And occasionally Andrew will get like a smoothie or something there, so I like to round up for that one and do $60. And I'm gonna move that just up a little bit. And then there's Banner on the 23rd, and that is my life insurance policy. That is $22.22. Then on the 25th, T-Mobile comes out, which is our cell phone provider. That is $150. So if you add up all of the bills, our estimate total bills is $2,774.65. With the basic budget plan, you have a section for bills. I think of bills as anything with a due date. And then you have expenses, which I think of expenses as groceries, gas, household, you know, things like that. Other, that's where we're gonna put our sinking funds. So I'm gonna put sinking funds under other. And for sinking funds, we're doing a total of $2,395 this month going to sinking funds. We also are going to put money towards our emergency fund, and we're putting money towards our investments. I don't share those numbers with you guys, but that is also going to go in the other section. Then for expenses, we have groceries. We budget $200 per week for groceries. We are going grocery shopping on Mondays now. So we meal plan and all of that on Sunday. And then on Monday, Andrew goes grocery shopping. And so there's 4 Mondays in the month of June, which means our grocery budget is $800. Then there's household, so those are items like shampoo, conditioner, cleaning products, things of that nature, and that is $200. For eating out, we budget $60 per week, and that typically gets spent mostly on coffee and going to our favorite bakery and things like that. And then we also eat out at church quite often, so that's $240. Actually, we haven't eaten out at church in a while. So usually our eating out takes place on Saturdays. There's 4 Saturdays in June, so 60 times 4 is $240. Then Maddie's on here. She does earn money for doing specific chores around the house. There's certain things that she's expected to do, like making her bed, picking up her toys, clearing the table, things like that. But then if we give her some extra tasks, she can actually earn money doing that. So we take out $20 a month for her as potential earnings. And then there's gasoline. It currently costs nearly $80 for us to fill up our crossover. We have a Dodge Journey, and so we're doing $160 for the month of June. That's about 2 fill-ups. So thankfully we really don't have to drive very far to get to anything, and we don't drive often because I work from home. Andrew's a stay-at-home dad, so we just don't really have to drive very much, and we're really close to a lot of different things. So I feel very fortunate that we're in that situation with the way that gas prices are going right now. But that should cover us for 2 fill-ups. And then we have our cleaning service come. They come on the first Wednesday of every month, except they're coming Thursday this time because Wednesday we won't be home. And we're budgeting $225. That's with a tip and everything for them. So $225 is what we're budgeting. And then we have unbudgeted, which we just use as kind of like a placeholder. We don't budget anything for unbudgeted, but just if anything random kind of comes up. So if you total our expenses, that total is $1,645. So the way that this column would work, and I know there's missing pieces of the puzzle here because I'm not sharing our income, I'm not sharing our total going to other, but you would take your income minus your bills, minus your expenses, minus total other, and that's what you have remaining down here. As far as our goals are concerned, that's something I still need to talk to Andrew about, so I'm not like exactly sure what we're doing. I do know that we're putting less towards sinking funds because there is a huge chunk going to medical. We found out that my hospital stay, which is of a probably 2 hours max that I'm gonna be there, is going to cost us about $5,000. So we need to put a lot towards medical, and so we're doing that, and then we're also kind of beefing up our emergency fund and our investments and stuff like that. So we kind of wanted to put more to the emergency fund, kind of have like a minimum amount that we're putting towards that, a minimum amount that we're putting towards investments, and then we're putting a lot towards our medical. So that means that some of our sinking funds are getting funded a little bit less than usual, or they're not getting funded at all if they're in pretty good shape. So yeah. So that's kind of what's going on there, is we want to make sure that we have cash on hand to pay. We're probably not gonna be able to pay all of that medical bill right away. We're probably gonna have to get on some sort of monthly, you know, payment plan with them or something, but we are going to pay it off as quickly as we possibly can. Because again, I personally do not like owing money whatsoever. So that's kind of what's going on there. But as far as setting specific goals, it's something that I need to just sit down with Andrew, kind of go over the sheet with him, and then figure all of that out. And then once we, you know, do all of that, then I can share all of that with you guys. But we just haven't had a chance to really do that. We know what our budget is, but we haven't really talked about any specific goals or anything like that. So that is our budget plan. Right, I had to switch out my battery because I've been filming for so long that the battery almost died. But the last thing we need to do is set up our sinking funds. And again, this is like the longest video ever. So if you are still here, you're awesome. Thanks so much for sticking around. I promise all the budget video setups are not gonna be this in-depth and long, but I wanted to show, again, the whole process with you guys, since this is such a new product and everything, just to share what my thought process is and hopefully give you some ideas and inspiration and things like that. So, okay. So let's pop over to sinking funds and we will do that. Now I have not closed out our sinking funds yet, so I'm not gonna be able to put in our starting balance, but I will be able to put in what we're adding to sinking funds and all that kind of stuff, and then also label them. So to label them, I'm actually going to use the Better Together font, and I'm going to do this, and then hopefully, I've got the demo version downloaded on this, don't I? So I'm just gonna do Andrew Pocket Money. I could even just do Andrew, because I know what that is. So I'm gonna put Andrew, and then, yes, I know you're the demo version. And then I'm going to zoom in a bit, resize, and put that in the middle. And then the beauty of it is I can copy and I can paste. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So right next to Andrew is going to be Beauty. And then we'll paste again. And next is birthdays. Then there is car insurance. Down here, we're going to do car repairs. And I can save these titles as an element once I have them all done, and that way I don't have to do this every single time. That'll be really helpful. So, car repairs. I should have done that last time because that would have saved me time in this video, but I guess it's good to kind of go through and share this process with you guys. So, and then car tags. And Christmas is one of our sinking funds. I'm actually going to film the May budget like closeout video tomorrow, so I'll be able to put in all the starting balances at that point. And it'll be really fun, like I said, kind of getting to do weekly check-ins with you guys and stuff here. I think that's going to be kind of a blast, so you can kind of see all this in action. Then we have clothing. And I'm just gonna do, I don't know if this is gonna let me do it, yeah. I need to download, I have the paid version on here of Better Together, and I could have sworn I put it on here, but I guess not. So I think I'm just gonna do A clothing. A clothing, and then we'll do like girls clothing and S clothing, because Andrew has his own clothing fund, I have my own clothing fund, and then the girls share a clothing fund because Julia typically gets all of Maddie's hand-me-downs. So then on this page we're going to do girls clothing. Put that over here. And then S clothing. And I'll show you guys how to save this as an element in just a moment. So again, you don't have to do this every single time. And then there is entertainment. So that's like if we go to a movie, the bowling alley, mini golfing, anything of that nature. If Andrew and I go on a date, we would take money likely out of entertainment versus eating out as well. So there's entertainment. Then we have family pictures, which we're hoping to get family pictures done in October when we go to North Carolina. We're gonna go to an apple orchard, and I think it'd be really fun to get some family pictures done at that point. It's family pictures. Almost there, guys, almost there. And then there's holidays. So that's like Thanksgiving and Halloween and Easter and things like that. So anything that's not Christmas, because Christmas has its own separate thing, just because we typically do like to take trips and things like that. There's a lot more that goes into Christmas than just like gifts and stuff. If we get decorations, or we go to get-togethers, or we do Secret Santas, or we, you know, do Christmas angels and things like that, it would come out of Christmas, the Christmas fund. So I like to keep that just totally separate because we use it for so much, and we have to make sure we have enough set aside. Okay, then we have house maintenance. I might have to make this one a little smaller, yes. So we'll resize that. So house maintenance. There's kids activities. So Julia is currently in gymnastics. Maddie is taking piano lessons, and then Maddie's actually going to her first Taekwondo class on Thursday. So I'm excited to see what she thinks of that. I think it'll be really, really good for her. So I'm hoping that she will like it. And then there is medical, which this sinking fund is getting all sorts of action. And if you can hear the kiddos in the background, Julia is supposed to be taking a nap. All right, so medical. And then we just have our 5 envelopes here. So medical, and then there is the puppies. This covers vet bills and treats and food, and anything we need for Mando and Kara comes out of the puppies fund. Then we have school. So that is for Maddie's school supplies. We have to get her uniforms for school. And then if they're doing like fundraisers or book fairs, or like Teacher Appreciation Week and Christmas gifts for her teachers and things like that, all come out of the school fund. And then there's, I'm just gonna put Stephanie, and that's gonna be for my pocket money. So it's kind of just miscellaneous money that Andrew and I can spend however we would like to. It's like an allowance, I guess you could say. And then we have subscriptions. So we set aside a certain amount every month to make sure that when our subscriptions are due, that we're able to pay all of those. So like Amazon Prime, for example, I believe is due in February, and it's over $100. So it's kind of nice to just save up a little bit each month and then pay for that when it's due. And then there is, lastly, vacation. And I have images checked off. So what I'm going to do, there's vacation, is I'm going to use my lasso, and I'm going to circle all of that, tap it, and then do add element, new collection, and I think I'm just gonna put, I'm just gonna title this sinking fund, oops. Go back here real quick. Sinking fund titles. So create that, and then I'm going to use my lasso here as well and lasso all of the titles. Tap, add element, sinking funds titles, and then do the same here. and have images checked off again, so that is good to go. And then that way, when I've got my sinking funds pulled up again, I just go to my elements, I open it up, I go to that collection, and I can just pull them in that way versus, you know, having to type all those out again and everything. You can see it saved it all as elements, and so that'll make that whole process a lot more quick next time around. So let's go ahead and put in what we're adding. So for Andrew's, I'm just gonna put on the 1st of June. 1st of June, we're going to do deposit. And we're going to deposit $50 into his sinking fund. And I know actually his balance right now is 0. So that means that his new balance is going to be $50. And then what's gonna be really nice is as we take money out or put money back in, whatever it is, it'll keep a running total of the balance here too. And I really considered doing this for like grocery, gas, and household, and I may do that in the future, but I kind of, again, was just missing that process of doing the expense tracking stickers and stuff. I just thought it'd be fun to do that. But I really love that I can kind of keep track of the balance as the month goes on, because I will be honest with you guys, closing out sinking funds is my least favorite thing to do of budgeting. I despise how meticulous it is and how easy it is to mess up the numbers, and it's just a pain in the butt and it takes forever. So I feel like this is going to help remedy all of that. So for beauty, I'm gonna put, and you know what I can do actually is I can just copy and paste that onto each one, so I don't have to write all over again 601 and deposit on every one. I can just put in the amount. So for beauty, we're putting $40 in there. So we typically do more than that, but again, we wanted to kind of limit some of these a little bit more. So there's that. And then for birthdays, we are doing 0. So we just feel like we have plenty in there. And again, I don't know the balance yet because I haven't closed these out, but I will fill those in once I do close out our balance or close out our budget for May. Car insurance, I actually could probably look up the balance for car insurance because we're just saving, we pay annually. And so, and I could have used my lasso to copy and paste that, but let's see. Actually, I can look it up. So sorry if you guys hear Julia crying. I'm sure Andrew's gonna go get her in just a second, but so for car insurance, so our starting balance for car insurance is currently $640, and we're adding 80, so that means our balance will be $720 in there. So that's that. And then we have car repairs, and for car repairs, we are putting $100. For car tags, we're putting 0. And I'm going to just paste that in there, and I'm gonna rewrite that because I don't like how that turned out. One of my zeros was looking a little funky there. So car tags, Christmas, we are putting 0. Andrew's clothing, we're putting money in there just to bring it back to a positive balance. So we're putting $50 in his clothing. And then moving right along for the girls, we are putting 0 in their clothes. And we're also putting 0 in my clothes. We just have enough in those funds, so we really don't need to put more in there. For entertainment, we are going to do 150. We like to make sure that entertainment is well stocked because it's summertime. We're wanting to go out and do more fun things as a kind of kind of why we make sure to always put money in there. That's what life's about, in my opinion. You just want to go do fun things. You can do it on a budget. It doesn't have to be super expensive either. That 150 can get stretched pretty far, but I feel like it's just really worth it to make sure we're funding that. And then we're putting $25 in family pictures. Holidays, we are going to do 0. And then for house maintenance, we're doing 150. Kids activities, we're doing 150 as well. Those are definitely pricey, but I feel like it's another one of those things that's worth it. That's the beauty of budgeting, you guys, is you can kind of prioritize where your money is going. So we could eat out a whole lot more if we wanted to, and we could put more money in that category, but we would rather limit that more, and because 240 honestly does not go very far, and then not do as much of like the activities and entertainment stuff. But that's the beauty of, you know, having your budget, is you're giving yourself permission to spend in certain areas and you're able to prioritize everything. So for medical, we're putting $1,000 in medical. So again, we're really beefing that up, and once again, I don't like how that looks, so I'm gonna do 1,000. I feel like I write a lot neater when I'm zoomed in. And then the last little 5 here, so for the puppies, we have quite a bit going on with them this month. They are going to get spayed and neutered at some point in June. They also need to get flea and tick medicine and 1 more shot in order to go to the dog park and stuff. So we have an appointment with them this week to go to a new vet that's closer to us. And yeah, so we wanted to make sure to put plenty in there for all of that. And so we're doing 250 is what we're depositing. For school, we are doing 0. We've got quite a bit in there, and it'll be a little while before we're getting school supplies, although I say that now, I feel like the summertime is just going to go by really, really quickly. So, and then for my pocket money, we are going to do 50. So we're still getting pocket money, but not as much as we normally do, which is totally fine. I use mine most of the time on my book of the month subscription, which I really should probably skip or cancel at this point because I never have time to read these days. So, and then for subscriptions, we are doing, once again, 0. Then for vacation, we're doing 300. So we're currently saving up for our vacation to North Carolina in October. So I'm just gonna write in deposit. So yeah, we're saving up for that, and there's a bunch of stuff we want to do while we're there, so we're saving up for all that. But anyways, that is what we have for sinking funds, what we're putting in them and everything. So that's the total of $2,395, all broken out, how we're, you know, allotting everything. And then again, I'll put the starting balances and all that kind of stuff in there as we go along, and I will continue to update you guys on what's going on with sinking funds in my weekly check-in videos. My business budget I will set up off camera, and yeah, that is pretty much it for this June budget setup video. Sinking funds are set up, my monthly view is set up. I absolutely love how this turned out. I originally thought I was gonna film my new releases video today. That is probably not gonna happen, just FYI, because it is, what time is it? It's already almost 3, so yeah, I'm probably gonna film my new releases video. I wanted to do it today to like get it up early for you guys tomorrow, but I'll just film it first thing tomorrow morning and still have it up pretty early. But yeah, so that is it though for this June budget setup video, for the whole add-on setup video. I will do a 2023 setup and everything later on too, but I just thought again that this would be... Do you want to say hi real quick?
I said, take it out, this.
Hmm?
I get out.
You got out of your crib all by yourself?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're gonna have to start saving up for a big girl bed.
Today.
No nap today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I gotta say bye. You wanna say bye to them?
Yeah.
You wanna come say bye?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Go ahead and wave under there.
Bye.
Here, put your hand right there, see?
Bye.
And go wave, go bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Where you?
Subscribe.
Wave.
All right, guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for new releases. I will try to get that video up as quickly as I can for you guys, but it looks like it's not gonna get filmed today because I have other things I need to get done. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it. I feel prepared for June. Again, I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up and we will chat with you all later. Bye.
Bye.